Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys have tried it.
Well, they have. I don't much. I'm a lowly violin teacher. So, you know.
They wouldn't be here for one good teaching.
That's true. That's true. We've already seen Dr. Hauser. So.
Okay.
Does it sound okay?
It sounds wonderful.
Lovely.
Great. Beautiful.
Violin way. Hey, Daniel?
Yes.
Can you move your microphone closer?
Yes. Closer as in
Closer to you.
me. Okay.
Put it onto the F position.
Oh, okay.
That's where it needs to be. Not like I used to do to bridge.
Okay. Excellent.
Quite slow.
Start.
Okay.
No?
Nice.
Yes. 4. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know. That was a risk.
Very nice. Rondo?
Okay, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
kiss you? No? Yeah.
Please no.
What?
9.
Oh, 9. Okay.
A quarter.
Where? Seven? Oh, okay. Oh, shit.
Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that in respect of the ceremonies this afternoon, that everyone turn your cell phones to silent mode, please. Thank you very much. Graduates, Board of Trustees, President Emeritus Cochran, faculty and staff, parents, distinguished guests, family and friends, it is my pleasure and distinct honor to welcome you to the annual commencement exercises of Southern College of Optometry. This year is a momentous one as we celebrate the 90th anniversary of SCO. Today truly marks a special occasion. You, as our graduates, were second-year students when the COVID-19 pandemic hit. You have spent most of your optometry school experience navigating the complexities of this public health crisis. Everyone in attendance today salutes your dedication and the hard work you put in to safely complete the 4 years of your optometry program under such challenging circumstances. You did it, and that deserves a round of applause from us all. I know today's graduates join me in extending a special welcome to their family and friends, whose love and support have helped make this day possible. We know each of you hold a special place in the hearts of our graduates who personally requested your presence here today. Graduates, please join me in showing our appreciation to all of our guests. Back in the summer of 2018, we were privileged to welcome this class to the SCO campus. Today, the members of the class of 2022 become our colleagues. You are now part of the rich 90-year history that will continue throughout your careers. To all assembled here, thank you for joining us in celebrating the transitioning of these outstanding women and men, deliberately women and men, into the profession of optometry. Graduation day is truly a day of great significance. This is not only for those receiving diplomas, but for the college and also for the profession. This holds especially true during the end of a pandemic. I would also like to take a moment to recognize SCO's faculty and staff, and our children. Thank you. This group of individuals is dedicated to the success of our students. They have worked hard over the last couple of years to make our campus as safe as possible for our students, our patients, and each other. It's why an overwhelming majority of them support our annual faculty staff giving appeal. This level of participation is likely unmatched by other professional programs and is a testament to how invested we are in your success. As a whole, your class has demonstrated an extraordinary commitment to overcoming all of the challenges you found in your way. Even in a pandemic, you never lost sight of your dream of becoming doctors of optometry. We do expect great things from you and look forward to recognizing your accomplishments throughout your careers as alumni. At this time, I would like to ask Lauren Gottemiller, President of the Class of 2022, to come forward and present the class address. Lauren.
Thank you, Dr. Reich. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome everyone to a day I know the class of 2022 has been looking forward to for a long time. I want to thank all of our friends and family for supporting us, especially through these last 4 years, and for being here today. I want to thank the faculty, staff, and administration for providing unparalleled optometric education and support not only as mentors, but as colleagues. I want to thank my other class officers for being such a great team over the last few years. And lastly, I would like to thank my classmates for a great 4 years of hard work, laughs, and memories. It sure was hard to imagine this day, sitting in a study room, at 1 a.m. with 5 other classmates as we were trying to solidify as much material as we could for our 8 a.m. exam during our first midterm week. But between the 16 midterm exam weeks, 8 final exam weeks, countless practicals, quizzes, and 3 parts of boards, I think we'd say we were able to squeeze in some fun too. From Student Bowl to Omega Delta parties to optometry conferences, we did not fall short of social activities. There were quite a few unpredictable moments during our time here at SCO, between the eye center flood of our first year, the pandemic of our second year, and the ice storm that closed the school for 2 weeks during our third year. It took a lot of patience and flexibility for my classmates, faculty, and administration to make it all happen. Outside of school, there were a lot of personal obstacles to overcome too. Loss of parents, fear of the future due to COVID, but we were able to persist with the support of each other, faculty, staff, friends, and family. Graduation marks the end of a chapter, but the beginning of a whole new book. As we continue through our optometric careers, I encourage everyone, like Dr. Wade teaches, to remember your why. Why you chose SCO, why you chose optometry, where your passions lie, and what fulfills your life. Use your achievements as motivation and inspiration to reach further and wider. You are all full of greatness and have so much to offer the profession and the world. I see many future leaders of our industry and many doctors that will add great advancements to the field of optometry. We are blessed with so many incredible doctors here at SCO. They show us what it means to carefully and practically care for our patients. They show us how to be involved in the many facets of optometry. They show us how to provide excellent patient care. I would like to thank every staff doctor and faculty member for all of their contributions to our success these last 4 years. You each have truly made a unique impact on us. The class of 2022 has chosen Dr. David Hall as our Teacher of the Year. Dr. Hall has demonstrated through his didactic and clinical instruction, passion and dedication to the profession of optometry. Dr. Hall, you can come forward to accept your award. Thank you, Dr. Hall, for being a great example to us. Finally, I'd like to congratulate all of my classmates on their graduation. We did it.
It is my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker. He will formally be recognized later in the program with an honorary degree. Dr. Jim Sandifer is one of our nation's most respected optometrists and among the most accomplished from the state of Louisiana. He spent a quarter of a century as executive director of the Optometry Association of Louisiana. When he retired last summer, the accolades he received were well-deserved. The American Optometric Association has presented him with its Distinguished Service Award. He received SCO's Lifetime Achievement Award back in 2001. In 2017, he was inducted into the National Optometry Hall of Fame. Dr. Sandifer has long been committed to advancing our profession. Under his true leadership, Louisiana gained new scope of practice privileges several years ago that enabled optometrists to do more advanced procedures, including lasers. He's always used his leadership position to move the profession forward. At SCO, he was co-chair of the campaign a decade ago that helped fund the construction of our newer academic complex, including the classrooms and labs that will serve our graduates today. A few years ago, he was instrumental in helping secure the largest gift that SCO has ever received. As chair of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Sandiford deserves credit for increasing SCO's institutional scholarship fund to help reduce student indebtedness. Not induce. Dr. Sandiford is a true and loyal friend of SCO. Please join me in welcoming, from the class of 1965, Dr. James D. Sandiford.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here and speak to you today. Especially want to thank Southern College of Optometry and Dr. Lewis Rice for the opportunity. For you parents and spouses and family members out here, you can be very proud of these people. Very proud. This is one super accomplishment. I want to speak primarily, though, to the graduates today. You're very lucky. You have just graduated from the best optometry school on the planet. And you're the best educated and best trained doctors of optometry that America has ever produced. You're going to love optometry. We like each other. Unlike some ophthalmic professions, we like our colleagues, we enjoy being with each other, and we have fun. And you will too, I promise you. Graduation's a big accomplishment, a big achievement, but with it comes a big responsibility. To illustrate just how well you're trained, when I graduated from SCO in 1965, I had not had 1 hour's instruction in pharmacology. Optometry was a completely drugless profession. We had artificial tears, that's it. When I graduated in 1965, I had never seen a cataract in a patient's eye. Didn't know what it looked like. My senior year at SCO, the school got the first slit lamp. I never got a chance to look through it. What a huge difference in our training. And do you know why you were able to receive the training that you've received? It's because a whole lot of ODs ahead of you gave of their time, their effort, their money, and their heart to make optometry what it is today. They're the ones that took us through the wars for diagnostic pharmaceutical agents, then the therapeutic pharmaceutical agents, and today where we are doing laser surgery inside the eye. All of this was done so we could enhance the public health and visual welfare, and it worked. Yes, there were wars. I know because I was there. I went through it. A friend of mine has characterized that group of ODs as optometry's greatest generation. I love that. I think that's a perfect description of them. They truly are our greatest generation. I have said many times, we have changed optometry more in a shorter period of time than any healthcare profession in the history of America. And I believe that. I believe it firmly. But we're not done. We have more to do. And that's where you come in. When you leave here and begin your professional career, you will scatter to many different states. Unfortunately, many or most of those states will not allow you to practice up to the level of the training you've had here. Why? Because the law in those states will prohibit you from doing it. And that's wrong. And that must be corrected. And again, that's where you come in. You've all heard that optometry is a legislated profession, and that's true. And the legislature is where the laws are made that prohibit you from practicing to the height of your training. The reason those laws will not let you practice to the level of your training is that those laws are what I call an inclusive law. That is, the law includes everything that you may do as a practicing optometrist. The problem with that is that's the only thing you can do. The problem there is Again, nothing except what is listed in the law are you allowed to do. Every time a new procedure comes out, you have to go back to the legislature to add it to the practice of optometry. That's too cumbersome, too restrictive. The profession of optometry has matured beyond that. We should not be having to go back to the legislature every time a new product or procedure comes out. What is needed is to change those laws to what I call an exclusive law. In Louisiana, we have an exclusive law. Our law allows us to practice everything except 22 listed procedures. The Louisiana law states the practice of optometry is the diagnosis and treatment of diseases and disorders of the eye and its adnexa, including ophthalmic surgery, except for the following procedures. It lists the 22 procedures that are excluded. Everything else is ours. We never have to go back to the legislature to add a procedure or a product unless it's one of those 22. And what are the 22? Things such as no surgery under general anesthesia, no removal of a human eye, no retrobulbar injections, no retinal surgery. As you can see, those are things we don't need and we don't want. We're not after those. There are now several states that have an exclusive law, and the number is growing. That should be the goal of every state, and it should be the goal of the state that you go to. Now, how do you fit in with changing the laws to exclusive? First, join the state association in the state that you go to. You're already members of the AOA. Make sure your membership is transferred to that state. And don't just join your state association, get active in it. Volunteer. Every association wants their members to be active, so don't be shy about it. They will be glad to welcome you. When you become active in your state association, you will make a lot of great friends around the country, and you'll have a lot of fun. In Louisiana, we have what I call Sandifer's Doctrine, and it's this: nothing good ever happens for optometry except because of the association. And I always say it twice: nothing good ever happens for optometry except because of the association. The grammar's not correct, but everybody gets the meaning. As an interesting side benefit, many studies have shown that members of the association make more money than people who are not members of the association. I'm sure that will interest you. Let me digress just a minute and tell you a little story about me and the kind of satisfaction that I'm referring to that you can have in your career. Many years ago, when I was a very young OD, we found out that the state of Louisiana had a committee we didn't know about called the Ophthalmic Advisory Committee. 6 ophthalmologists, no optometrists. So the state got the association got the governor to add an optometry member to it, and the association picked me. Well, I went to the first meeting, and there were 6 stern-looking, mature doctors and little Jimmy Sandifer. Intimidated? I was intimidated, but I was bound to represent optometry. Well, the speaker that day was a woman who I'll refer to as Ms. Jones. Ms. Jones was in charge of Medicaid for the entire state of Louisiana. This was before optometry was involved in Medicare, so we didn't know anything about Medicare and not very much about Medicaid. So when the meeting was over, I went up to Mrs. Jones, politely introduced myself, and I said, "Ms. Jones, I don't really know all of the rules of Medicaid, but," and she interrupted me and said, "Well, I suggest you learn." I knew whose side she was on. At that time in Medicaid, in Louisiana, Medicaid only paid us for a refraction, nothing else, $5. That was before therapeutic optometry, of course. So I didn't like that. So sometime later, I did a tangent screen exam on a glaucoma suspect. That was before visual field instruments. We did a tangent screen with a piece of felt on the wall and a wand to plot the visual field. Pretty primitive. Anyway, I billed Medicaid for it, and they denied it. So I convinced the state association to back me in filing suit against the Louisiana Medicaid program. We did that. We filed suit in federal court, and we lost. The judge ruled against us. But he sent one question to the Louisiana Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court answered in my favor, overruled the judge, and told him to instruct Louisiana to start paying optometrists exactly the same that they paid ophthalmologists and other physicians for every procedure that fell within the scope of practice of optometry. Wow, talk about satisfaction. That's what I'm talking about. That's meant millions of dollars for optometrists in Louisiana. But it's not over. The state still refused to pay us, just wouldn't do it. So we took them back into federal court on contempt of court charges. The judge told Ms. Jones in open court, start paying them tomorrow or I'm going to put you in jail. More satisfaction. But wait, it gets better yet. A couple of weeks after that, I was walking out of the state capitol, and who should come my way? Ms. Jones. I had a friend with me. I stopped, said, Ms. Jones, how are you today? I'm doing fine. I said, Ms. Jones, do you remember at that Ophthalmic Advisory Committee meeting when you told me that I should learn the Medicaid rules? She said, yes, I do. And I said, well, how'd I do? She stuck her nose up in there and walked off. Talk about satisfaction. Talk about fun. That's the kind of satisfaction you can have working for optometry outside of the clinic. So back to your role in advancing our profession in the future. There are powerful forces out there who do everything they can to stop us. As you know, the OMDs fight us at every turn. It'll be war, always has been. But what they don't know is the war's already over, and we have won. The handwriting's on the wall. Got a few more battles to fight, and the battles will be tough, but you can win them. You can be tough enough to win them. As my SCO roommate and dear friend, the late David Sullins, used to say, when the end is near, the final reckoning, and there's nothing but smoke and rubble, if you look closely, a cockroach will run out from under the rubble. Everybody knows they're so tough you can't kill them, you can't get rid of them. But if you keep looking, the rubble will move, a puff of dust will come up, and this little guy wearing a white coat will step out, brushing himself off. And if you look a little closer, he's wearing a badge that says OD. Because we're tough as cockroaches. They'll never beat us. So today, I challenge you to become involved, to carry the torch, to do the work, the hard work that's necessary to take our profession where it needs to be. Optometry's greatest generation paid it forward for you. Now it's time for you to pay it back. I hope you'll do that. I want to wish all of you nothing but the best in your careers going forward. If I can ever be of assistance to you, I'm easy to find. Get in touch with me. I'd like that. Thank you, everyone.
Would Dr. James D. Sandifer please approach the podium? From time to time, the Board of Trustees recognizes individuals who have rendered distinguished service to the profession of optometry and the public by awarding the honorary degree Doctor of Ocular Science. Dr. James D. Sandifer devoted his entire half-century career to optometry. He was the face and voice of the profession in Louisiana for decades, earning him the nickname, the Father of Louisiana Optometry. As an SCO student, he was a founder and charter member of the Gold Key International Optometric Honor Society. He also served as student body president and later became an adjunct professor. Following his graduation in 1965, he founded the Vision Clinic in Oakdale, Louisiana, bringing comprehensive optometric care for the first time to the community. He was also one of the first doctors of optometry in Louisiana to serve on a hospital staff. Through the years, he led many legislative battles, including 8 years ago when Louisiana became the third state to gain laser and ophthalmic surgery privileges. In 1984, he filed a landmark lawsuit, as we have heard, in federal court against the Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals for discriminating against optometrists. At the time, the department only paid for refractions, not medical procedures, even though other physicians were compensated. The final ruling put optometrists on an equal footing with MDs for reimbursement in Louisiana and other states. This victory has enabled countless patients to receive care from their doctor of optometry paid for by their Medicaid benefits. Dr. Sandifer was also instrumental in reversing funding cuts that impacted Louisiana students' tuition to optometry school. He has literally raised millions of dollars to support optometric education in the form of scholarships, as well as supporting indigent care and other worthwhile causes. He has mentored countless students and ODs and served as a resource for other states' association executive directors. His service also includes work with clinics in Nicaragua and Grenada to help thousands of people who have never been seen by an eye doctor. He implemented a public relations program in Louisiana to promote the profession, as well as a statewide billboard campaign to promote the Infant C program. He has received numerous honors in recognition of his service to the Optometry Association of Louisiana. Under his leadership, membership in the association nearly doubled. He has chaired numerous AOA committees and served on several regulatory boards benefiting the profession, including the Association of Regulatory Boards in Optometry. Last year, he was named SECO's OD of the South. He's been named Louisiana's OD of the Year twice. He received SCO's Lifetime Achievement Award in 2001, and 5 years ago, he was inducted into the National Optometry Hall of Fame. Dr. Sandifer's efforts throughout his career have benefited both the profession of optometry and the general public. Therefore, subsequent to approval by the Board of Trustees of Southern College of Optometry, it is my pleasure to recommend Dr. James D. Sandifer for the degree Doctor of Ocular Science.
Upon your recommendation, and by the virtue of the authority vested in Southern College of Optometry by the state of Tennessee, I hereby confer on Dr. James Sandifer the honorary degree Doctor of Ocular Sciences with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
As you can probably tell, I love optometry and I love SCO. And to receive this, I just can't tell you, I can't express how much it means to me. I want to thank everyone who was involved in it and thank all of you here today. Thank you very much.
While all members of the graduating class of 2022 have performed in a meritorious manner, successfully completing the optometric curriculum at Southern College of Optometry, and while great pride in these accomplishments should be shared by the graduates, families, friends, and distinguished faculty of the college, the two graduates who have achieved the second highest and highest cumulative grade point averages are, by tradition, recognized as salutatorian and valedictorian of the class. By definition, the salutatorian of the class has achieved the second highest cumulative grade point average and the valedictorian the highest cumulative grade point average during the curriculum at Southern College of Optometry. It is my pleasure to present to you the salutatorian of the graduating class of 2022. Holly Renee Peterson, please come forward at this time to receive a plaque engraved in your honor as salutatorian of the class of 2022. It is now my distinct pleasure to announce the valedictorian of the class of 2022. Would Anne Elizabeth McLean come forward at this time to receive a plaque recognizing this honor? Latinized honors to acknowledge outstanding academic achievement while enrolled in the professional program at Southern College of Optometry were earned by members of the class of 2022. Those graduates having a cumulative grade point average of between 3.4 and 3.59 will receive the recognition of graduating cum laude. These individuals are wearing white honor cords designating this honor. Additional members of the class of 2022 are graduating magna cum laude, signifying a cumulative grade point average of between 3.6 and 3.79. Those graduating magna cum laude are wearing silver honor cords. Students graduating with a cumulative grade point average of at least 3.8 are accorded the honor of graduating summa cum laude. A gold and blue honor cord signifies this distinction. Those graduating with honors will be individually recognized as they are announced to receive their hoods and diplomas. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Optometry degree please rise? Dr. Carrie Leibowitz will now come forward and administer the optometric oath. Degree candidates, please remain standing once the oath is completed.
Please raise your right hand and recite the optometric oath with me. You will find the optometric oath printed in your programs towards the center of the fold. Ready? I will practice the art and science of optometry faithfully and conscientiously and to the fullest scope of my competence. I will uphold and honorably promote by example and action the highest standards, ethics, and ideals of my chosen profession and the honor of the degree Doctor of Optometry, which has been granted me. I will provide professional care for those who seek my services with concern, with compassion, and with due regard for their human rights and dignity. I will place the treatment of those who seek my care above personal gain and strive to see that none shall lack for proper care. I will hold as privileged and inviolable all information entrusted to me in confidence by my patients. I will advise my patients fully and honestly of all which may serve to restore, maintain, or enhance their vision and general health. I will strive continuously to broaden my knowledge and skills so that my patients may benefit from all new and efficacious means to enhance the care of human vision. I will share information cordially and unselfishly with my fellow optometrists and other professionals for the benefit of patients and the advancement of human knowledge and welfare. I will do my utmost to serve my community, my country, and humankind as a citizen as well as an optometrist. I hereby commit myself to be steadfast in the performance of this, my solemn oath and obligation.
President Reich, upon the recommendation of the faculty of Southern College of Optometry, I present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Optometry. They have pursued their prescribed studies diligently, have passed all required examinations, and have demonstrated commendable proficiency in the art and science of optometry. I therefore recommend that the degree Doctor of Optometry be conferred upon them at this time.
Upon your recommendation and my great pleasure, and by the virtue of the authority vested in Southern College of Optometry by the state of Tennessee, I hereby confer on these graduates the degree Doctor of Optometry with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Graduates, please be seated.
Will the first row of candidates please rise and come forward to receive your diploma? Audience, please hold your applause until all names are called. Dr. Sean Austin Adams, cum laude. Dr. Adams is the recipient of the Johnson & Johnson Award of Excellence in Contact Lens Patient Care. Dr. Amy Griffin Allen, cum laude. Dr. Camden Michelle Badger, magna cum laude. Dr. Badger is the recipient of the Dr. Mark A. Krantz Memorial Scholarship. Dr. Rachel Walden Barantes. Dr. Andrew James Barrows, cum laude. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Drew's diploma are Drs. Kevin and Kelly Barrows, SEO class of 1990, Drew's parents. Dr. Tanner Andrew Beard. Dr. Beard is the recipient of the Winston Family Endowed Award. Dr. Cynthia Rose Bell Hulsey, cum laude. Dr. Shane Bradley Benally, cum laude. Dr. Benally is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Salman Body. Dr. Matthew George Bills, summa cum laude. Dr. Bills is the recipient of the Burnett Endowed Award for Student Achievement in Research. Dr. Matthew Thomas Blazig, magna cum laude. Dr. Blazig is the recipient of the Dr. Fred H. Mothershed Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Haley Brooke Bolden. Dr. Maria Bontrager, cum laude. Dr. Bontrager is the recipient of the COVD Excellence in Vision Therapy Award. Dr. Catherine Riley Boone, magna cum laude. Dr. Boone is the recipient of the Susan Grissom Memorial Scholarship. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Katie's diploma is Dr. Dan Boone, SEO class of 1991, Katie's father. Dr. Miranda Bradford, cum laude. Dr. Chandler Bryant. Dr. Taylor Canamore. Dr. Jordan K. Carlson, magna cum laude. Dr. Carlson is a recipient of the GP Lens Institute Clinical Excellence Award. Dr. Heather Grace Carlton, magna cum laude. Dr. Stefania Carreno, summa cum laude in absentia. Dr. Carrena is the recipient of the Dr. Bernard L. Kahn Memorial Scholarship. Dr. Caleb Hunter Chestnut, cum laude. Dr. Chestnut is the recipient of the Dr. Glenn T. Steele and Dr. Alan Fors Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Hannah Claire Schutz, cum laude. Dr. Alexandria Rose Cloud, summa cum laude. Dr. Cloud is the recipient of the William Feinblum Low Vision Award. Dr. Aaliyah D. Cole, cum laude. Dr. Cole is the recipient of the Dr. William M. Dickerson Leadership Award. Dr. Anthony Cortez. Dr. James Caleb Counts. Dr. Jessica Aaron Crum, cum laude. Dr. Crum is the recipient of the Edelstein Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Andrew James Dahl, summa cum laude. Dr. Dahl was the recipient of the Dr. Muhammad Rafatari Academic and Clinical Excellence Award. Dr. Serene Darwish, cum laude. Dr. Sonali Dharmesh Das, magna cum laude. Dr. Carissa Davis. Dr. Davis is the recipient of the Award of Excellence in Contact Lens Patient Care. Dr. Caitlin DeClue, magna cum laude. Dr. Nathan DeClue, summa cum laude. Dr. Kevin Sullivan Deutsch. Dr. Jared Odell Dix. Dr. Dix is the recipient of the Drs. Tom and Lewis Hyde Scholarship. Dr. Aniel Saber Dunlow, cum laude. Dr. Dunlow is the recipient of the SECO Clinical Excellence Award. Dr. Anna Hatche Douglas. Dr. Douglas is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award and the Dr. James D. Sandifer Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Taylor Edwards. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Taylor's diploma is Dr. Steve Edwards, SCO class of 1987, Taylor's father. Dr. Suzanne Falkowski, magna cum laude. Dr. Falkowski is the recipient of the 1967 Endowed Scholarship. Dr. William T. Farrand, magna cum laude. Dr. Farrand is the recipient of the Bausch and Lomb Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Jackson Riley Fitzgerald. Dr. Gabrielle Gafford. Dr. Gafford is the recipient of the Burnett Endowed Award for Student Achievement and Research. Dr. Mason Michael Garbs. Dr. Lauren Michelle Gottemiller, magna cum laude. Dr. Gottemiller is the recipient of the Optometric Extension Program Clinical Award. Dr. Teresa Grachowski, in absentia. Dr. Blade Aaron Group, magna cum laude. Dr. Group is the recipient of the Bayes Family Endowed Service Award. Dr. Alexis Greco, cum laude. Dr. Thomas John Hand. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Thomas's diploma is Dr. Douglas Hand, University of Houston College of Optometry, class of 1988, Thomas's father. Dr. Kalina J. Harrell, magna cum laude. Dr. Harrell is the recipient of the Lucy Bone Orgain Award. Dr. Rachel Elizabeth Hart, magna cum laude. Dr. Jackson David Hawkins, magna cum laude. Dr. Hawkins is the recipient of the Dr. Fred H. Mothershed Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Virginia Elizabeth Henderson. Dr. Ashley Hobson. Dr. Hobson is the recipient of the Lucy Bone Orgain Award. Dr. Ryan T. Holliday. Dr. Holliday is the recipient of the Southwest Council of Optometry Scholarship. Dr. Savannah Merritt Holman. Dr. Jonathan Wayne Hoops. Dr. Mats Adam Jaslow. Dr. Ethan Chandler Jones. Dr. Daniel Jordan. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Daniel's diploma is Dr. David Jordan, SCO class of 1981, Daniel's father. Dr. Riley Charles Juniman. Dr. Juniman is the recipient of the Alcon Case Study Award and the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Riley's diploma is Dr. Ron Juniman, University of Houston College of Optometry, class of 1993, Riley's father. Dr. Rachel Lindsay Kane. Dr. Nathan Keys. Dr. Abigail Click, summa cum laude. Dr. Click is the recipient of the Valley Contacts Award. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Abigail's diploma is Dr. John Sims, Illinois College of Optometry class of 1964, Abigail's grandfather. That deserved an awe. Dr. Madison Elizabeth Closter. Dr. Jessica M. Congelf, magna cum laude. Dr. Jordan Claire Ladnier, magna cum laude. Dr. Tessa Elizabeth Lau, summa cum laude. Dr. Lau is the recipient of the Award of Excellence in Contact Lens Patient Care. Dr. Aaron Bryn Laws. Dr. Benjamin Michael Lee, magna cum laude. Dr. Lee is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award and the Dr. Kevin Rogers Practice Management Award. Dr. Logan Melissa Lineberry, cum laude. Dr. Lineberry is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Caitlin Mary Ling, summa cum laude. Dr. Ryan Aubrey Livesey. Dr. Joseph Luiso, magna cum laude. Dr. Luiso is the recipient of the Dr. Muhammad Rafatari Academic and Clinical Excellence Award. Dr. Jerry Liu. Dr. Samuel Lupkeys, cum laude. Dr. Gabrielle Lois McGee, cum laude. Dr. McGee is the recipient of the Dr. David P. Sloan Memorial Award. Dr. Zachary Lee Mackle. Dr. Elena Van Zant Martin. Dr. Sarah May Mastrorocco, magna cum laude. Dr. Micah Lee Bullock McCarty, cum laude. Dr. McCarty is the recipient of the Spivey Family Endowed Award. Dr. Lillian A. McIntyre. Dr. Ann E. McLean, summa cum laude. Dr. McLean is the recipient of the Award of Excellence in Contact Lens Patient Care and the NBEO Part 2 Award. Dr. Alilta Daniel Mezgaboo. Dr. Mezgaboo, not done. Dr. Mezgaboo is the recipient of the Eichenbach Optic Low Vision Award. Dr. Ashley Berry Millar. Dr. Jeffrey Morrison. Dr. Zachary Thomas Morrison. Dr. Morrison is the recipient of the Excel Contacts Outstanding GP Fitting Award. Dr. Troy L. Moss, cum laude. Dr. Erin Ruth Mozingo, summa cum laude. Dr. Mozingo is the recipient of the Sparrow, Evans, and Wayman Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Jamie Masato Myers, magna cum laude. Dr. Anna Lynn Nations, cum laude. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Anna's diploma is Dr. Lloyd W. Nations, Jr., SCO class of 1977, Anna's father. Dr. Min Khan T. Nguyen. Dr. Nguyen is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Jacob Tyler Norris. Dr. Xiaowen Pan, magna cum laude. Dr. Pan is the recipient of the Dr. Bernard L. Kahn Memorial Scholarship. Dr. Brittany K. Parker, cum laude. Dr. Parker is the recipient of the Winston Family Endowed Award. Dr. Alexandra Lee Pasley, magna cum laude. Dr. Emily Carter Patterson, cum laude. Dr. Patterson is the recipient of the SECO Past President's Endowed Award. Dr. Holly Renee Peterson, summa cum laude. Dr. Peterson is the recipient of the Essilor Labs of America Award. Dr. Cody Allen Pygott, summa cum laude. Dr. Pygott is the recipient of the Southwest Contact Lens Society Scholarship. Dr. Andrew Patrick Plaxco, magna cum laude. Dr. Christopher Anthony Pope, cum laude. Dr. Pope is the recipient of the Drs. Tom and Lewis Hyde Scholarship and the Southeast VT Forum Scholarship. Dr. William Lee Ratliff. Dr. Ratliff is the recipient of the Class of 1967 Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Alexandra Marie Robertson. Dr. Robertson is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Nathan Robinson. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Nathan's diploma is Dr. Robbie Robinson, SCO Class of 1989, Nathan's father. Dr. Claire Catherine Russell. Dr. Russell is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Kimberly Stacy Santian. Dr. Joseph A. Scortino. Dr. Scortino is the recipient of the Dr. Alicia A. Gross Scholarship. Dr. Jordan Collins Shell, magna cum laude. Dr. Colin Mills Simmons, cum laude. Dr. Simmons is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award, and assisting President Reich in the awarding of Colin's diploma is Dr. Creighton Simmons, SCO Class of 1990, Colin's father. Dr. Griffin Harris Smith. Dr. Braden James Sorensen. Dr. Sorensen is the recipient of the Drs. Tom and Lewis Hyde Scholarship. Dr. Sarah Elizabeth Spangler. Dr. Macy Sparks. Dr. Sparks is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Rachel Alexandra Steele, summa cum laude. Dr. Steele is the recipient of the Christine and George Ducote Scholarship. Dr. Eric Stewart. Dr. Reagan Nicole Stone, magna cum laude. Dr. Stone is the recipient of the Good Light Award. Dr. Bradley Bryson Swaim. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Bradley's diploma is Dr. Craig Swaim, SCO class of 1977, Bradley's father. Dr. Numra Tanvir. Dr. Mia Samantha Taylor, summa cum laude. Dr. Taylor is the recipient of the Southwest Contact Lens Society Scholarship. Dr. Sykes Eric Thompson. Dr. Lindsay Elizabeth Thornton, summa cum laude. Dr. Thornton is the recipient of the Halpern Family Award and the Valley Contacts Award. Dr. Quinn Nee Doan Trin. Dr. Trin is the recipient of the Dr. James D. Sandifer Endowed Scholarship. Thanks again. Dr. Alexandra Grace Turner, summa cum laude. Dr. James Trey Upton. Dr. Robbie Lynn Burgess, magna cum laude. Dr. Burgess is the recipient of the National Vision Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Maria Claudette Vitale. Dr. Landon Hunter Voigt. Dr. Michael Scott Wagner. Dr. Wagner is the recipient of the Bo Willis Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Otha Wade Warren. Dr. Rachel Denise Slater Witt, magna cum laude. Dr. Witt is the recipient of the Burnett Endowed Award for Student Achievement and Research. Dr. Shelby Anise Wilkes. Dr. Rachel Rentleman Williams, magna cum laude. Dr. Williams is the recipient of the Opelec Excellence in Low Vision Award and the Bo Willis Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Allison Taylor Wirt. Dr. Wirt is the recipient of the Susan Grissom Memorial Scholarship and the Dr. Glenn T. Steele and Dr. Alan Fors Endowed Scholarship. Dr. William Ree Worley III. Dr. Cassidy Hope Yosef, cum laude. Dr. Yosef is the recipient of the Lucy Bone Orgain Award. Please join me in recognizing the class of 2022 for its accomplishment. I just hope it's this loud and exciting at tonight's Grizzlies game. At this time, I would like to ask Colonel Dean Swick to the podium to conduct the military commissioning ceremony for Dr. Nathan Keyes, U.S. Army.
Before Nathan comes up, I'd like to say just a few words. You can be push-ups later for him. I normally get to meet the class and learn about the military scholarship recipients and those going into the service before this time. But this class, as you have heard earlier, have been kind of away from campus, and we really haven't got to know our classmates that well. But I had an opportunity to talk to Nathan, and he's already spent a good amount of time in the military. He joined in 2011, went through ROTC, so he's probably done this commissioning ceremony at least once, and he'll do it again and again and again, we hope, because this happens every time we move up in rank, that we re-identify with our service and recommit ourselves to that service. So you'll get to do this again. Nathan has a family, and I really encourage him and his family on their first assignment in Germany to really immerse yourself in that culture. So he's going to get to experience a lot of life over there, and he says he wants to participate in as many humanitarian missions as possible. So hats off to you, Nathan. And you'll have a lot of hard times, but you'll remember those. You'll have a lot of good times. You'll remember those as well. So I encourage you to take those challenging assignments. Don't always take the easy way out. Do your job. Be a soldier, not just a doctor. And you'll find that this rewarding in the end. I stood here, not here, but doing the same thing in about 1983. So I've been at this a while. Had no intentions of staying 40-something years, and maybe you don't either, but you never know. So we'll ask Nathan to come up here now, and we'll do the swearing in, the oath of office for Nathan. So hopefully you can hear both of us. So raise your right hand and say after me. I state your name.
I, Nathan Dexter Keys,
Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
I bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
I bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
I will faithfully and without mental reservation and purpose for evasion.
I will faithfully and without mental, say that again, sir.
Mental reservation.
Without mental reservation.
Or purpose for evasion.
Or purpose for evasion.
I will faithfully carry out the duties of the office in which I'm about to enter.
I will faithfully carry out the duties of the office for which I'm about to enter.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I believe that concludes our ceremony for today. Thank you. Oh.
Okay, for today, you're taking orders from me. Immediately following the recessional, the class of 2022 will remain on stage for a group photo. Now I would like to conclude the commencement ceremony for this year. I'd like to invite after the ceremony, I'd like to invite all family and friends to join the graduates for a reception in the Renaissance Center's lower level.
Something else now?
Stay.
Okay.
They're giving it again. And we.
All right. Oh, we're done now? Okay. Awesome.
You may or may not recognize these folders. They're some of the ones I cleared out for my PC.
Nice.
Because that's.
Oh, why not? Just borrow them.
Well, I mean, it's at home, but these are in such good condition.
Right, of course.
There as well. Cue the air horns. If there's a whistle that goes up, I feel like there needs to be a